Writing. For nearly 3 years, the old golden retriever returned to the same train station every single afternoon. The people of Harbor Point had stopped asking why. They already knew the answer. He was waiting for someone. At first, everyone believed that waiting would end. Days would become weeks. Weeks would become months. Eventually, the dog would forget. But he never did. Even as his muzzle turned gray and his steps became slower, Rusty arrived at the platform before the afternoon train and watched every passenger step through the doors. Then one spring afternoon, something changed. The train rolled into the station exactly on schedule. The whistle echoed across the harbor. Rusty lifted his head from the blanket beside the old wooden bench. Around him, several townspeople watched quietly, expecting another ordinary day. The doors opened. Passengers stepped onto the platform one after another. Rusty stared as always. Then a tall, older man appeared in the doorway. His hair was gray. His face looked older. His body moved carefully after years of hardship. In one hand, he carried a worn travel bag. In the other was an old leather collar. Rusty's ears suddenly lifted. The man stopped moving. Tears filled his eyes. For a moment, neither of them seemed able to breathe. Then the man whispered a single word. Rusty. The old dog froze. His tail moved once. Then again. Slowly, he pushed himself to his feet. People nearby exchanged confused glances. Nobody spoke. Rusty took a step forward. Then another. The man dropped his bag and knelt on the platform. Suddenly, the years of waiting disappeared. Rusty hurried across the station as fast as his aging legs would carry him. When he reached the man, he pressed his head against his chest and refused to let go. The crowd stood in stunned silence. Some wiped tears from their eyes. Others simply stared. Against every expectation, against every prediction, the fisherman had returned home. The dog who never stopped believing had been right all along. As the sun settled over Harbor Point and painted the station in gold, one truth became impossible to ignore. Sometimes hope lasts longer than reason. Sometimes loyalty survives longer than time. And sometimes the ones who belong together really do find their way home.